Call me crazy if you want. No, literally, you can call me crazy, but it's another download from the divine or just something creative I came up with. Now, I love the letter I. I think it's fascinating and it's symbolic. Letters are just symbols we put together to make words. Words then are symbols. They are just a collective idea that a group of people decide to agree on, but they have so much power. So if words have power, then what is its derivative would be the letters, right? I think it's wild though, the keyboard sometimes has symbolic reference to me as well. If you look at the number 1 on the top row of a keyboard, it actually has the symbol, the symbol of the punctuation mark, I should say, of the exclamation mark. Now, if you look at an exclamation mark, it's literally just an upside down I, lowercase I, right? And that's wild because it's in the first place. It's in the singular. It's the one. It's you. It's identity. It's who you are. And it is the exclamation mark of your life, right? I believe that it's all tied together, all tied in. Now, I just might be crazy because I am, but that's all right. These are just little divine drop-ins I get to say like, hey, you know what? You got it. Like, if these things keep me going, if there's little things that keep you going, that connect you to the divine, the source, life, love, pursuit, hope, all good things, not that bad things won't happen, then that is source, that's universe, that's identity, the cosmos. Start identifying how you, literally, as my faith changes, grows, evolves. Isn't it weird though that your faith can evolve? Literally, it's an abstract concept, but we can evolve our faith. Now, I don't necessarily, want to grow it anymore because that has the idea that it will at some point die. My faith evolves. It goes beyond me, actually. It continues past me because your faith, your belief, your love put out will then press into others, which will then pursue down time. Time in itself is not even real, but it's our objective, I believe, to be the best, most loving we can through, again, that personal relationship to the divine source. You can call it what you want. Now, again, the dynamics of my faith are changing, and that's okay. I actually had like an existential breakdown, but you know what? Like, I'm getting these drop-ins from, something that I believed before, something that I said, hey, you can't call it that, you can't, no. Well, you know what? If it's love, if it's light, if it's hope, if it's grace, if it's peace, kindness, goodness, inside of the fact that there will be the opposite, just know that you're on the right path. I was always so confused, like, what's the will of God? What's the plan? Where do I go? How do I do? And you know what? I got to a point where I burned out. I physically burned out because, I'll tell it maybe in another story, but like, I had like empathic burnout. I was like, I can't give any more of myself. My emotions are dried up, turning into like dark energy, dark things that I didn't want to be involved with because that was the reflection of me. That was me. That's what I was turning into. That's what I was evolving towards. And so I burnt out because I couldn't take it anymore. It's a long story. But these little signs, these symbols that we live by, symbols are actually our first language. We count. We teach our kids how to count. That's a symbol. We teach our kid how to write, read, or, letters, symbols. Those are just symbols, right? You can't like have a Q Like, hey, can you pick me up a Q? No, it actually just represents something. That's why in Hebrew, which I studied, which will blow your mind, how they equated each letter to a picture, even how like the Egyptians did through glyphs or hieroglyphs. And now what we do is we just have a letter that just turns into words. But letters actually have their own formation. They have their own entity. We don't really consider it like the majestic, the mystic ways that the Jewish people did, or the Hebrews, the just people in the past. But I believe that they do. Like, letters get up and walk to make words in our minds, right? It's like, how did I say that? Why did I say that? I should have said that, right? So sometimes letters they always hold potential energy. Words hold greater potential energy because you're holding more of it, and then it's ready to be passed, right? Literally this, the letters, right? You can say F-U. Wow. Those words have power. They have energy. It's all energy, right? And so back to the exclamation mark, the I with the dot on the top. You are the dot. Even in the Bible it says, make sure not to miss a jot or a tittle, which is just like the dot on the top of the I, right? Because it's that important. It would change what it looks like, right? And if it doesn't look the same way, right? It could look like a 1. It could look like a singular lowercase l in our language. Things change based on just something as small as a mark like that. Maybe that's the mark of the beast. I get it. It says different things at the end in Revelation, but those are the marks of the beast, I believe, in a sideways/horizontal reference. Because your words, just as it says even in the Bible, your tongue has the power of life and death. Well, what happens with your tongue? Literally, linguistics, not semantics, but pronunciation all has to do with how your mouth closes, your tongue touches your teeth, where it is inside of your mouth, whether you're closing your lips or not. Those little things, the airway, the breath of life. That's why in the Bible even, the world was actually created by word, by breath, by spoken nature. And I'll leave it with this. Like, you know the saying, actions speak louder than words? Well, it's weird because it's like, what's doing what? Well, if actions speak, well, that's the action of speaking, but then wouldn't speaking be greater than the actions? Actions speak louder than words. So what's greater? See, where I come from, like, words can, like, literally give you wings, help you fly, but also they can dig your grave. And sometimes I've done it for myself, I've done it to other people, but you know what? Like, words have that much power. You have the power to lift, life, and love by being the light. And you also have the same amount of power to destroy, condemn, persecute, belittle, all those words that will just make someone feel as though they're not themselves. And maybe you've been there. I bet you have. Because literally the words spoken to us come into our ears, but we can also see what someone's saying. Oh, I see what you're saying. So when you use the senses and someone destroys you, you see them destroy you. You hear them destroy you. You know how they said it, and it hurts everywhere. Just remember that. I love you. See ya.